Good morning, dear students. In the last class, we were discussing about the reactivity series of metals, isn't it? Activity series, how we can define them, and also about ores we were discussing about. What are ores, children? Ores are the substances which contain high percentage of particular metal and it can be profitably extracted from that. That substance is known as a ore. It is a metal ore. From that ore, we can extract the particular metal. That is an ore. How the metals are got? Metals are got from the earth's crust. We know about that. And most of the metals are got in the compound state. With some other elements, they have made compounds and then we are getting them as a mineral. From that, we can extract the particular metal. So, that is, there we need extraction of metals because it is containing some other elements with it. Not only the metal, it will be along with some other impurities or other elements. But some substances are there, some elements are there which are got in the pure form in the nature, like gold and silver, platinum. We can give the examples for those. They are got in the native form under the earth's crust. But most of the metals are got as ores, that is minerals. Those minerals are known as ores. Okay. Here you can observe, children, on the screen. The metals are given potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, like that, isn't it? In that you can observe, children, those present on the upper portion of the series are very highly reactive elements. And when we come to the next part of it, zinc, iron, lead, copper, those are all medium reactive one. They are medium reactive one. Their reactivity is moderate. And in the last of the series, we get gold and silver. They are in the got in the native form in the nature. So we can categorize the metals on the availability of their the state in the earth's crust. We can categorize them into three categories: metals of low reactivity, metals of medium reactivity, metals of high reactivity. And different techniques have to be developed to obtain the metals for different categories. One method is not enough for all is not sufficient, or it is not the proper one to follow for all the metals in all the series. So we have to take different methods, different techniques to extract metals of different series. So how we can extract pure metal from ores? We have to follow many steps for that. Let us study more about it. When we are looking at the ores, children, you observe here on the screen, they are along with some elements, impurities I told, as the compound form. Here you can observe some metallic ores, metal ores you can observe on the screen. Metal ores in this form they are got, and then it is extracted. Whichever metal in high quantity in that mineral present, that is extracted from the mineral. Okay, these are all the minerals. For example, you might have studied in your social also, aluminium. Aluminium's ore is bauxite. Zinc, for example, zinc blend. We used to say zinc blend. Like that, those are. And copper sulfide. Those are all the ores of metals. And here we can observe, children, what we can see here, to extract ores from which methods we have to follow to extract ores. First of all, when we get ore, as I told you, as a mineral, first of all we have to concentrate the ore. You can see here on the screen, the mineral has to be concentrated first. What is concentration, children? Increasing the useful quantity of the metal and removing all the impurities, earthly impurities. For example, if you bring any leafy vegetables, we cannot use as it is, isn't it? We have to cut the roots, we have to choose the good ones, good leaves from it, and then we can use it for a curry, isn't it? In the same way, first of all, we have to concentrate the ore so that we can get the more quantity, that is more percentage of the ore, the more percentage of the metal in that. That is the concentration process. Earthly impurities, first of all, we have to remove, like dust particles, sand particles, those are all we have to remove first. That is known as concentration of ore. Next, see children, here mainly ore is divided into three categories. That is, you know, metals of high reactivity, metals of medium reactivity, metals of low reactivity, as I told you. And next, metals of high reactivity, how they are extracted? They are extracted using the method of electrolysis of molten ore. We have to follow that method particularly for those metals of high reactivity. Which are the metals of high reactivity? As I told you, high reactivity metals are potassium, sodium. Those are all high reactive metals. Calcium, magnesium, those are all comparatively high reactive metals. For those to extract from their ores, we have to follow electrolysis method. Then we can get a pure metal. For that, electrolysis means, you can see the setup here, children. This is the electrolytic, the setup. For example, here it is given sodium chloride, from which we can extract sodium. You can observe on the screen, from which we can extract sodium from it. Sodium is a metal of high reactivity, isn't it? It is the metal of high reactivity. When the current is passed through this, two electrodes are there, sodium chloride solution is taken in a beaker and two electrodes are dipped in it, and they are connected by a wire and a battery, or when electricity is passed through them, the reaction starts, and whichever sodium is there, it will move towards cathode. You know children, positive terminal, negative terminal will be there for the battery, and negative terminal is known as cathode, positive terminal is known as anode, and the sodium whichever produced in the beaker, sodium ion, that will be moving towards the cathode. So it is having a cathode, means the electrons negative, so sodium positive, so it will move towards a cathode and it will gain electrons and it becomes atom there. So sodium is deposited at the cathode, and thus we can separate sodium metal and we can extract it and we can purify it later. Thus we can get the metals from their ores. This is the method known as electrolysis or electrolytic reduction of metals. This method we have to follow to extract metals of high reactivity. Now let us move on to next one, metals of medium reactivity. Here in medium reactivity we have two types of ores, that is carbonate ore, maybe sulfide ore. Carbonate ore, that is a zinc carbonate, maybe copper carbonate, maybe like that. Sulfide ore, zinc blend we used to say, that is a zinc sulfide. Those are all. There are two categories, sulfide ores and carbonate ores. So for both of these we have to follow different methods. If it is a carbonate ore, we have to follow a method known as calcination. If it is a sulfide ore, we have to follow the method known as roasting method. Then we can separate them. Understanding, children? Yes. Then through this, whatever we get, that is oxide of a metal, that oxide of a metal then should be reduced and then we can purify. Understood, no? Next, let us come to metals of low reactivity. Under low reactivity, we are considering, as I told you, we are considering low reactivity actually copper and mercury. Silver and gold are very much passive. Gold and platinum are very much passive one. They are passive only. They are not at all reacting with anyone. But still, copper and mercury are reacting. So they are low reactivity series. They come under low reactivity series here. How we can separate them? Metals of low reactivity, or how we can extract them from their ore. Metals of low reactivity, if it is a sulfide ore, most of the times it is a sulfide ore, we can use a roasting method. As I told you in the previous one, metals of medium reactivity, roasting method is followed and metals are got and then they are reduced. Reducing, reduction reaction, whichever gets oxygen, that is oxidation, whichever loses oxygen, that is reduction, isn't it? So whichever gets hydrogen, that is reduction reaction. And also what is reduction in terms of electrons? If the electrons are gained, it is a reduction reaction. If it is electrons are lost, it is a oxidation reaction. So in this way, we can extract metals, and we have to follow different methods for different depending upon their reactivity. High reactivity, medium reactivity and low reactivity. We have to follow different methods. Children, we studied about how to extract the metals of different series like high reactivity series, medium reactivity and low reactivity. And first step I told, concentration of ore, isn't it? That is also known as enrichment of ores. How we can enrich or concentrate the ore? Ores mined from the earth are usually contaminated with large amount of impurities such as soil, sand, etc. These particles, impurities, are known as gangue particles. The impurities must be removed from the ore before the extraction of the metal. The processes used for removing the gangue particles from the ore are based on the differences between the physical or chemical properties of the gangue and the ore. Sometimes it may be magnetic property, hydraulic washing, hand picking, like that. These methods are employed to enrich the ores or to concentrate the ores. First method is that only. As soon as the ores or minerals are dug out from the earth's crust, they are first they are employing to remove the impurities, earthly impurities like sand particles, soil particles. Those impurities are removed first. That process is known as enrichment of ores. Now, as I told you, the extracting metals. For extracting metals of different categories, the different methods are followed. First of all, here you can observe metals of low reactivity, medium reactivity, high reactivity. In that, first of all, we are considering the metals which are low in the activity series. Metals which are low, metals low in the activity series are very unreactive. They won't react easily. The oxides of these metals can be reduced to metals by heating alone. So sometimes what happens, as I told you, oxygen is a very reactive element. These low reactivity metals will react with the oxygen and they form oxides. For example, see children, cinnabar, that is a mercuric sulfide. HGS is an ore of mercury. You can observe children here, HGS is an ore of mercury. It is known as cinnabar. It is the ore of cinnabar is the ore of mercury. When it is heated in air, you can observe there on the screen, you are observing children, there is HGS plus oxygen. That is, when it is heated in the presence of air, you can observe on the arrow mark there is heated. When it is heated in air, it is first converted into mercuric oxide. See children, sulfide ore is converted into oxide ore. Here HGO is mercuric oxide and sulfur dioxide is formed. And again, whichever formed mercuric oxide is again heated. Heating is continued and we get mercury and oxygen is released. That is, here what happened children? Particularly observe this reaction, second reaction on the screen. HGO has become Hg. That means oxygen is removed. Whenever oxygen is removed, this is a reduction reaction. Here mercuric oxide is reduced to mercury. So in most of the cases, oxide ores are reduced to get the metal. So to get the metal, oxide ores are reduced. Simply heating is enough to get the metal, to get the metal. Okay, so this is the important reaction. Cinnabar, that is mercuric sulfide plus oxygen. When it is heated in the presence of oxygen, we get mercuric oxide. This mercuric oxide, when heating continued, we get mercury metal. Okay, next let us observe another one. Similarly, copper, which is found as copper sulfide. You can observe there children on the screen. Copper sulfide plus O2 giving, you can observe on the screen, cupric oxide, copper oxide plus sulfur dioxide is formed. Copper sulfide plus oxygen giving copper oxide plus sulfur dioxide. Again what happened here? Cupric oxide, that is copper oxide is formed. This copper oxide again combines with copper sulfide and gives copper metal plus sulfur dioxide. Here simple heating is necessary. For which one? For the metals which are whose reactivity is low in the activity series, which comes in the third category, that is low reactivity. For them simple heating is necessary to get reduced into the metals. So first of all, whichever sulfide ore is there, that is heated in the presence of air, and then oxides, respective oxides are formed, and those oxides again reacts with the ore and we get copper metal. So this is the reaction involved in the extraction of metals which are low in the activity series. If you want to summarize metals which are low in the activity series, we can write like these equations children. HGS plus oxygen giving a HGO plus oxygen. Remember, first it is the sulfide ore is converted into oxide ore. Then that oxide ore is those oxides are reduced to get metals. In the first case also, in the second case also, we observe the same. So these are the reactions involved. So which is the ore of mercury? Mercuric sulfide, that is cinnabar. Copper sulfide, that is the ore of copper. Observe children, remember mercury and copper comes under low reactivity. Mercury and copper comes under low reactivity. Whereas gold and silver and platinum are in the native form got. Okay. So this much should be known in the case of metals which are in the low in the activity series. Okay. Children, in the previous video we studied about extracting metals which are low reactive in the series. Now let us go to the extracting metals in the middle of the activity series. The metals in the middle of the activity series such as iron, zinc, lead, copper are moderately reactive. No, they are all in the middle of the series. These are usually present as sulfides or carbonates in nature. It is easier to obtain a metal from its oxide always. So we are trying to get oxides of those which are as sulfides in nature. So therefore we are using reduction, the metal sulfides and the carbonate ores. The sulfide ores are converted into oxides by heating strongly in the presence of excess of air. How we are doing that? We are heating the sulfides ore in the excess of air. This process is known as a roasting process. Children, observe correctly. Whenever the ores are heated strongly in the presence of excess of air, this is roasting. And another one, the carbonate ores are changed into oxides by heating strongly in the limited supply of air, that is known as calcination. Always remember, sulfide ores, they are heated in the excess of air. That process is known as roasting. Carbonate ores, you can observe there children, carbonate ores in the limited supply of air, that process is known as calcination. That is the difference between those two, roasting and calcination. Now let us see roasting process. Now we are considering here zinc sulfide, that is we are considering here zinc blend, that is also known as zinc blend. When it is heated in the excess of air, we get zinc oxide and sulfur dioxide is formed. Here what happened? This is converted into oxides now. Remember another one, zinc carbonate. When it is heated in the limited supply of air, that is calcination, zinc oxide is formed and carbon dioxide is formed. So the metal oxides are then reduced to the corresponding metals by using a suitable reducing agent such as carbon. We can use carbon as the reducing agent here. You can observe children, they reduce zinc oxide into zinc to get the metal, pure metal. But we are already familiar with the process of oxidation and reduction. You can observe children, in the last chapters we studied about that. You can see using carbon as a reducing agent, metal oxide to convert metal oxides into metal, sometimes a displacement reaction can also be used children. We can use a displacement reaction. Observe there MnO2, manganese dioxide, with aluminium. This is a displacement reaction. Recall your previous knowledge. We studied about iron and copper sulfate example. Here you can take manganese dioxide and aluminium, getting manganese as the pure metal and aluminium oxide, and lots of heat is produced children. Whenever lots of heat is produced, that reaction is exothermic reaction, isn't it? These displacement reactions are very highly exothermic, as I told you, because lots of heat is produced. The amount of heat evolved is so large that the metals produced are in the molten state, in the liquid state. In fact, the reaction of iron oxide, that is Fe2O3, with aluminium is used as to join the railway tracks or cracked machinery parts. You can observe there children, that reaction you can observe on the screen. Fe2O3 plus aluminium giving iron plus aluminium oxide, and heat is produced. This is exothermic reaction. During that, the rails are joined. The railway tracks are joined, or cracked machinery parts are joined using this process. Which is that process? With iron oxide, aluminium reacts and gives iron plus aluminium oxide, and lots of heat is produced so that the product will be in the form of molten state, and thereby they will join together. The rails are joined together, and this process, especially the reaction of iron oxide with aluminium giving iron plus aluminium oxide, is known as Thermit reaction. This process is very important in joining the railway tracks. You can see on the screen, the person is joining the railway tracks. They are using this process. That process is known as Thermit reaction or Thermit process. You can observe, children, there. What is that reaction? Fe2O3 plus aluminium giving iron plus aluminium oxide plus heat. This is exothermic reaction, as heat is liberated during the reaction, and also this is nothing but a displacement reaction where the iron oxide can be reduced to iron metal. Thereby we are making it useful in joining the railway tracks. Children, now let us discuss how to extract metals towards the top of the activity series. Can you say which metals are at the top of the activity series? They are potassium, sodium, calcium and magnesium, aluminium. These are all on the top of the activity series. Simple chemical reduction methods like that we discussed in the earlier video, like heating with carbon monoxide, cannot be feasible. It is not possible there. The temperature required for the reduction is too high, and it will be more expensive. We cannot afford it. To make this process economical, which process is followed? That is electrolytic method or electrolysis is followed, and we have to take the only aqueous solution is not enough. Molten compounds are taken of that metals. Now let us take up extraction of sodium metal from sodium chloride. Respective chlorides are taken. In a tank, the fused NaCl, that is molten NaCl, sodium chloride solution is taken, and two graphite plates are dipped in that. One is anode, one is cathode, and they are connected by a connecting wire, and it is connected to a battery. Here you can observe that electricity is passed through this. During that, what happens in the tank of sodium chloride, fused sodium chloride, it is dissociated into sodium plus, Na plus and chloride minus ions. And what happens? Sodium moves towards cathode, as it is positive, it moves towards negative. And chlorine, as it is negative ion, it moves towards anode because it is attracted towards anode, and chlorine gas is liberated at the anode. Observe, children, properly here. Sodium metal is deposited at the cathode. Why it is happens? It is happening because of the dissociation of sodium chloride into Na plus and Cl minus. Na plus moves towards cathode as it is positively charged, and whenever positively charged, as we discussed in the earlier videos, positively charged means that it has lost one electron, but when it moves towards cathode, it gains electron, and so it will become sodium metal, and it is get deposited on the cathode. At the same time, at the anode, what happens? Chloride ion, it is negatively charged, it has received one electron. So what happened? When it moves towards anode, it will lose one electron, and it will lose electrons. So what happened? The chlorine Cl2 in the form of chlorine gas is liberated at the anode. This is about that we have to study, children. Understood? This method is known as electrolytic reduction or electrolysis process, which is used for the metals at the top of the activity series. What happens actually at the electrodes? At cathode, Na plus as I told you, it gains electron and it becomes sodium atom, and it is get deposited at the cathode. At the anode, what happens? Chloride ions, it becomes losing one electron, it becomes chlorine, and it will lose electrons. That lost electrons only got by sodium, like that. This method is not only used for sodium chloride or sodium metal, it can be used for magnesium, calcium, potassium, aluminum. To extract those metals also we can use the same method known as a electrolytic reduction or electrolysis process.